Hi YouTube, this is HomeSchlMomOf3, and today I'm going to show you a recipe I found online how to make healthy fudge, and it's only 5 ingredients. And I haven't had fudge like since I was a child, and but you know when it's that time of, ladies, you know when it's that time of month and you get those cravings. Well, I was craving fudge, but you know I'm on my fitness journey. I'm just trying to get into better shape and things like that. So I wanted to make a fudge that was healthy. So I found one, and I've made it twice already. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and share with you the ingredients that are in it. There is virgin coconut oil, which I have one here in the measuring cup already melted. And there is almond butter. Now I know you can make almond butter, but I haven't made any yet, but I did get this at the health food store. It's all natural, no stir almond butter, and so it's creamy, and it's really good to taste the almonds in it. You'll need vanilla and honey. Now in the recipe they called for, I'm gonna look real quick, they had like this kind of honey, but I wanted a, hopefully you can see that, I wanted a healthier honey, meaning the raw organic honey. This does cost more, but I wanted something that to where it wasn't heated at a high temperature, meaning I don't get all the benefits from the honey. So, but if you don't have the raw honey and you do have this honey, this will work. But so yeah, this is how I got this honey. So for those of you who've never seen raw honey, it's solid, so that's how it looks. So what I'm going to do is, normally they just put it, I wanted to go ahead and, if you have a double boiler you can use it, but I'm using this glass bowl over a pot of water. I don't have it on yet, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and start mixing this stuff together. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to add 1 cup of virgin coconut oil in my bowl. To make sure I get all of it in there. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add 1/4 cup of almond butter. So what I'm going to do is, sometimes I like to, I'm going to get this. Okay. I'm going to use a regular spoon and then put it into this 1/4 cup of I'm going to go ahead and add the almond butter in the bowl. I know some people might be able to eyeball 1/4 cup, but I need a measuring cup. And if you don't have almond butter, you can use regular peanut butter in its place. When I first made this, I didn't have almond butter, so I just used what I had. I used peanut butter. It's just that peanuts, it's a fattier nut compared to the almond butter. So if you're really watching your weight, you know, you have some weight loss goals, I would recommend getting the almond butter. Or if you can make it yourself, try, getting a recipe to make almond butter yourself. Okay, next we're going to put in, I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of honey. I'm just going to I might have to do the same thing. So I need another spoon. So this is how hard regular honey is. And it smells so good. And I use it sparingly, trust me. This stuff's expensive. So I'm just digging up here until I get in like a 1/4 cup in here. So usually I use agave nectar to sweeten a lot of my things. So especially if you're trying to look to use less sugar and things, you know, especially if you're looking to lose some weight and things. Like, I still drink a cup of coffee in the morning, and I use agave nectar instead of sugar. And trust me, you guys, I like having sugar in my coffee. So honey, you could use honey too, but agave nectar sweetens it really good. You can't even tell it's not sugar in it. Okay, so there's a 1/4 cup of honey I'm going to add to the mixture. So already we have 1 cup of virgin coconut oil, a 1/4 cup of the almond butter. Now I'm putting in a 1/4 cup of the honey. And I'm using the raw honey. And remember, if you don't have raw honey, just use your regular honey that you may buy at the store, grocery store. Okay. Next, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Okay. So 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Just going to put that in there. And then lastly, I'm going to add in 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. Okay. So just okay, so I put in 3/4 cups of cocoa powder, and what I'm going to do is let it melt. Now I'm going to do something a little differently. I'm trying something different. I'm going to add oats to mine, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this on like between low and medium heat, and I'm going to let this melt. You want to get it into like a soupy type of consistency. Yeah. So I'm just kind of stirring this up because, you know, the things that really need to melt is the honey. And now if you had regular honey, the only thing you really need to melt is that, well, if you're coconut oil, virgin coconut oil, if you don't, you'll need to melt that. Mine was already melted, so it does take a little bit. And I don't do it, I don't have this. Now, I found this recipe online. Now the lady that was sharing this recipe, she had it like over boiling water, you know, like I don't know what the temperature was set on, but I like to do this slowly because I don't want the heat to be too high, because I don't want to lose all the good stuff that's in the honey. So I'm not going to do it on like a scorching high temperature that will make this, you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Because we got the coconut oil in here. It doesn't need to be, to me, in my opinion, doesn't need to be heated up too high. But I do have it between low and medium heat, and I'm just kind of stirring it slowly until it's all melted. Okay. So as I'm stirring it, it's starting to melt. So I might speed up this part just because so the video won't go super duper long. I don't know how long this will actually be, but until it's all melted. See, it really doesn't, the water, you guys, it's not really like a super boil. But I did put it up to medium, a little bit more to medium, because I do want to boil slightly just to make sure that this all liquefies, you know, gets soupy, because it's all like this. You see how that looks? I want all that like in a soupy kind of consistency. So I'm trying to help it along by, you know, smoothing it around. Okay, I wanted to actually hold this up so you can see how it's looking. So it's still kind of like that at the bottom. You see how it's like little clumps? I don't want that, so that's why I turn up the heat to medium. So it can bring, I do want to get it to a boil, so I can make sure this is like a soupy consistency. Okay, one thing I would suggest is getting your water boiling before you actually put the ingredients on the bowl and put it over the pot, because then it'll go a lot quicker. But I go kind of like the slower way because I don't want it to get scorched at all and things like that. I know it's not as easy to get it scorched because I'm doing it this method. But anyway, so it's nice and liquidy. Now, if I were to make a regular fudge, like you see in this clip here, okay, if I were to make that kind of fudge, I would use this kind of container, and I would use my wax paper, and I would line it up in this pan and go ahead and pour it directly in there and then stick it in the fridge. But I'm doing something a little different. I wanted to add oats to mine. So it's going to be kind of like those no-bake cookies in a way, but fudge. I wanted to have some oats in the fudge. So I'm going to put a cup of oats. It is. I'm trying to make my snacks for the day, and I gotta have, you know, I do like some chocolate. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and stir this in here, in the bowl. You know, I was wanting to do 2 cups. I think I'll do that. I'm gonna do 1 more cup because I was wondering, I wonder if 2 cups would be too much, but I do want a lot of oats. And then I'm gonna spread it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is get it stirred up really, really good. Now remember, if you want regular fudge, just skip this step of adding oats and go ahead and pour it into your container. And if you don't want your fudge to stick to the pan, add some wax paper on first. And if you need to use scissors to cut it so it can fit your pan really good, then do that. But what I'm going to do is, so I have 2 cups of oats stirred in here really well, and I'm going to spread it on this pan here. So I'm going to go ahead and get the wax paper. And this is my first time making it this way, so I'm hoping it turns out really good. So this is how it's looking. It's on the wax paper. So that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator, and after 30 minutes I'm going to come back so you can see how it's looking. So let me look real quick. So that's how it's looking, and I'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, this is how it looks after 30 minutes. Kind of touch that part so it still is soft underneath. So I'm going to put it back in probably for an hour before I actually get it. But the fudge Okay, in this bag, this is from a fudge I made before, so I can give you an idea what the fudge looks like. Okay, my daughter's been getting in here eating the fudge, but it stays. So what I do is I cut it up, and I keep it in this Ziploc bag in the refrigerator. So because it's coconut oil, it'll melt. So if you just keep this out, it'll soon melt completely. So store your fudge. If you want to try it with the oat, like your Oat Fudge bars, store them in the refrigerator so it can stay hard, because after an hour I'm going to cut this up and then I'm going to place it in a Ziploc bag like this and store them in the refrigerator. So this is a simple way for you to make a snack, especially if you really like chocolate and you want a healthier snack. This is a wonderful recipe to try. And that's about it. I might have some pictures of it, how it looks, or maybe some video footage later of it cut up and things an hour from now. So okay, here I have, these bags are filled with my Oat Fudge bars, and I have them in the freezer. I stored them in there, so if you want it a quicker setting, I would say put it in the freezer because it will harden quicker. So yeah, so this is filled with the Oat Fudge bars, and I just want to show you guys. So thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, and I hope you give this a try. If you don't care too much for oats, then just skip that step and then make you a nice yummy tasting fudge, and you don't have to feel guilty about it because it's all natural and no sugar. So I hope you guys give it a try. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a blessed day. Bye.